Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show.
Is it live? Is it live, Face? Hey!
Just waiting, sweetheart, waiting for you. If you go back to YouTube, you will see that most of our episodes start with about 2 seconds of me going, and then some of them start with about 2 seconds of me going like that. And so now I just pretend that we're live the whole time and like I'm doing something natural.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. You're a professional.
Yep. I don't know.
It's better than my intro that starts too soon and then the YouTube will start. I'm like halfway through my good afternoon. It's like, and then it starts there. Or Alex's hello.
I do like when Alex says, "Good now, revolutionaries."
Good
Just the way he does.
now, revolutionaries, and welcome to. I am here now, and
you're lucky I acknowledge you at all.
If you're looking for a place to be acknowledged, to be seen, then you might need to scroll and go somewhere else. But if you are here live with us and you have a crypto question, then we'd love to answer it for you. I see lots of friends in the chat. Welcome. Doug is here. Bearded is back from the road trip. I saw the post in the Circle community and so much more. If you need our help with something, then let us know. We'll do our best to assist you. And if you can't get our attention during the live show because there's too many comments or you don't have enough characters, then what you need to know, the place you got to go is, of course, community.rumshq.com. It is the best place to get in touch with us 24/7 to find all our recaps, resources, coaching links, and so much more. The only thing missing, my friends, is you. You guys doing okay this morning?
I am doing well. I slept like a baby that was made of rocks, and that's how I slept. I slept like rock baby, and could have slept for a few more hours, but overall good. Yesterday was a super chill day for me. I only had a couple calls. I like took a nap in the middle of the day, quick little like 10-minute nap, and kind of recharged because my brain was dead. I was still hungover from the weekend in Nashville, so no, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, it took a minute to recover from the whole thing. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, you're feeling great. This is your final day of servitude.
The last day. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of my life.
Wow. I was not prepared for how impactful that sounded.
Yeah, it's your retirement to now work just as hard, but on something you care about, which is
hopefully harder.
Definitely better.
Yes.
Feels like a
better.
call.
Yeah, so that's kind of a weird feeling. You know, it's bittersweet. I'll miss working with my friends and being out and farting around on the island and stuff. So I'll have to keep my my golf cart rounds of the island going.
Yeah, do that for sure. Get some time outside, but also make sure you hunt down those people so we can get that sponsorship money. So that
amen.
I can also come and do this full time.
So that you can get a golf cart by the ocean.
Oh, I'd love a golf cart by the ocean,
dude. I'm telling you. It is the move. It's
well, you're gonna have to get me out of Boston, and right now the only thing that's getting me out of Boston is probably Manhattan. So that's
there's
not
ocean
good
over
for
there.
a golf cart. There's ocean there, but it's a little smelly.
Yeah, but
it's ocean.
Boston Harbor is very exciting.
Yeah, Boston Harbor is also pretty. Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to fact check myself. Bearded, I think that the Boston Harbor Light is the oldest manned lighthouse in the country. It has.
Actually, I think I've heard that too.
Title. I can't remember if that's a Coast Guard maintained light or if it's still an independent, like, because there's a few like famous lighthouses around, like Lake Superior. What is that light called? There's a light off of Lake Superior or in Lake Superior off of Marquette that is still manned by an individual, a single dude who lives out there. It's very cool.
Wow, I love those lighthouse cameras, the ones where you can check in with it here and there, all around.
Have you ever seen the TikTok?
The most excited Alex gets. Camera on a lighthouse. Oh,
wow, dude!
Wow.
I don't like it that much.
For those who don't know, one of my tours in the Coast Guard was working in navigation, and I worked on lighthouses. So qualified lighthouse technician. Did you have you ever seen the TikTok of that dude with the crazy beard who looks like Old Man in the Sea, who lives and works on a lighthouse, and he films himself with like deep philosophical speeches, but it's always outside at the lighthouse, so the wind is like 50 miles an hour. You can never hear a word he's saying, but he just stands there with the wind whipping the beard off the back, and he says something allegedly profound. That's every video.
Allegedly profound.
Someone has to have seen this, right? Like it's.
I haven't. No, but send that to me. I want to.
No, but you do have a couple yeses in the comments. I think it's Marquette Harbor Lighthouse. And there are definitely a lot of people that want their own golf cart by the ocean. So that could be the move.
Come for him.
If
I want to go do an internship with the lighthouse guy for sure. And then Lauren says, if you just hopped in here, it kind of sounds like Alex is retiring to go run a lighthouse. Would be the move.
Not enough room for all the dogs, though.
No.
Okay, so there is some crypto news that we wanted to share. There are a couple of things going on, and I would love to just start with the headline that if you were caught up in the debacle, talking about specifically the FTX debacle, that the next payment to creditors is going out now to the tune of $2.2 billion. Thank you very much. This is the fourth payout scheduled for later today. And Alex, you were telling me that even though these people mostly invested cryptocurrency, the individuals on the outside are going to get the payment in cash by default with the option to convert, but we don't know too much there.
Yeah, and also it's even worse because they're getting it at like cratered 2022 prices. So like I think the example I saw was if you lost a Bitcoin during this whole thing, you will be receiving your recompense at a $16,000 Bitcoin valuation.
Oh, that's so painful.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's worth a. And it might take 1 to 3 days, they say, if you are expecting a payment. And if you're not sure if you're entitled to a payment, this is the fourth payment. So you you're probably not entitled to one if you haven't been getting them this whole time. And beware scammers, because that is one of those vectors that was popular. The BlockFi one. If you were part of a platform that closed down and there was a lawsuit to release the assets to the people, then probably a scammer somewhere has your email address and will send you a letter from FTX or claiming to be FTX's lawyer with a bad link to take your crypto. So just watch out for that.
Well,
go for it. Take it with authority. I was like, I sensed it.
I figure this is time. I want to talk about something.
Yeah, talk about it.
Something I do not like, and it's with the abstract layer 2 ecosystem and the recent shift they've done in the past couple days, and it's something that every blockchain environment does. Even Ethereum, has kind of done it. Solana kind of done it, but they don't do it currently. Like every blockchain does this, where they try to make their statistics of their blockchain look really pretty, as opposed to it being really pretty because it has adoption. Okay, so I'm gonna I'll talk a little bit more what I mean by that in a second, but let me share my screen real quick.
Real quick in my neck. So quick, I cricked.
But so what Abstract's trying to do is they're trying to make sure that their number of transactions on their blockchain, on their layer 2 for Ethereum, looks really good. So if you come to Artemis here, which is a terminal, granted, I'm getting this off of Twitter, but over the past couple of days, their transactions daily are now over 1 million transactions, right? They're trying to do that. Now, you would look at this, and if you don't ask any follow-up questions or you're not on chain and seeing how things are changing, you'd look at this and go like, oh, they're getting a lot of adoption. Like people are going on, a lot of people are using it. Wow, that's really great. Like the fundamentals of this must be super, super, super strong. And like you can see if you look at this, like you do have higher lows from January through February, right? There's some natural growth here, but it's still like, not anything amazing. And this looks like, oh, something amazing is happening, right? What's happening, I'm going to stop sharing, Evan. What's happening is on Abstract over the past couple days, which is a chain focused on creating games and streaming environments, right? Like that's been their focus. They've come out with, in addition to one of their games, which is a racing game that somehow, some way has this game where you press a button and it mints all these little balls and they fall into these buckets, and then the balls get burned, and then the buckets give you points, and you can earn these points to then get these like pinatas in the game that you crack open, and it has like skins for your racing car and things like that. But each one of those little balls is a transaction. The other thing too is they created this game that is literally you click a button and your character starts automatically making cookies, and each time you make a cookie, that is a transaction. And there's a prize pool for whoever's bakery makes the most cookies. And that's the game. And basically, it seems like Abstract is asking their apps to make things that, without adding any value or anything really of value to folks outside of prize pool winnings and like NFT winnings, and outside of like any new application and any new swing and influx of people, just like transaction farming. Like, how do we take what we have and increase the amount of transactions to kind of have like a passive vanity test, if you will, which I do understand, right? I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to do, but it is marketing fluff, right? It is a direction that you are trying to beautify your blockchain metrics and kind of make them look better than they really are in order to pass that snuff test. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? And that's good, great, and grand for that. But if your core people, like I'm here on Abstract every day playing some games, and I just look at that and I'm like, really? Like we're going down that direction? Like it's just transaction farming. Like there's nothing of value here. And it's like this isn't really helping anything. Like if anything, you're just gonna rub like your core people the wrong way and be like, is this the direction we're gonna go? Granted, this has only been a thing for like 5 days. And it could be something where it's like, hey, really quick, we just want to make this thing look better. And then we're going to get back to like our core mission and being like the consumer friendly blockchain and, you know, try to get back to that and all that kind of stuff. But it is something that every blockchain does. Every blockchain tries to get like VC money thrown in on their chain to make their TVL look better, or something to make their transactions look better, or unique wallets, you know, being generated like that's growth. Or, hey, the amount of token holders is growing, and it's just like, you took a bunch of money and spread it out across a bunch of wallets. There are a lot of ways for people to fudge these numbers and to make them look really good and pass that initial eyeball test. And it's something that Abstract's doing now. And like, I just don't think they really need to. And it's not something I really enjoy, because like it is, at best, it's a marketing spin. Like at worst, like it's a lie, you know, which all marketing kind of is. It's just something that I'm a direction I don't really like. And it's something to talk about, because as people learn how to research cryptocurrencies and blockchains and the fundamentals, understand that everything outside of a Solana and Ethereum, for the most part, is lying to you to a certain degree in terms of those metrics. So something to always be aware of and try to kind of double click into.
I will say, you know, just to double down on this is not uncommon. For
Not uncommon.
Pretty much every new crypto project, you've raised some venture money, or you've got like a partnership with somebody and you need to make them look good. They're going to help you get users or help you, you know, with distribution, whatever it is. This is like really common. And a lot of the time when there are incentives, but the blockchain is empty, the first stuff that comes there is like, you know, it's fine. It was like I'm trying to think of just good examples that we've seen over time. Farcaster, this happened. A handful of people ventured there, and it was a while of planting seeds before the plants started to bloom. And then they had really strong incentives where it was like, oh, you know, you can create these tokens and we'll fund them and seed them, and you can tip each other. And that was like the zenith of volume on Farcaster, was when people were being paid to be there. I don't know. It's interesting because, Will, I got excited for Abstract specifically when you started like spending more time to play there. I was excited when Finn was there. I was just excited about the vision. I was like, okay, cool. You know, Luca is going to be there, this great CPG company. But I don't know. I got to say, the chat I'm in with Icy and some of the other streaming folks who are trying to figure streaming out there, they were really dedicated. it seems like there's always a dedicated core user group, and they do their best.
Certainly.
And sometimes it hits, sometimes it just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, Abstract still has plenty of time, and they have plenty of money. Good God. Backed by Pudgy Penguins. I mean, they're on track to make over $100 million from merchandise sales, which is pretty crazy. Congrats to them.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. Because, I feel like they're just kind of, missing the mark a little bit. They have plenty of time to do something, and they're in a niche that doesn't have any competition at all, which is to actually be the consumer blockchain. It's just that they haven't really done that yet, right? There hasn't been anything that's really ported people from actual consumers, in the real world, to really being on Abstract yet. Like the Pudgy, not the Pudgy World game that came out, which is also interesting, but
right.
The oh my God, the mobile game. How am I forgetting the name of it?
Pudgy Party.
Pudgy Party. Pudgy Party was great.
Party
that wasn't
World,
on Abstract, because they just didn't feel like Abstract was ready. So that was a great opportunity to get a ton of people on Abstract. So now they need to come out with another game, another media source, another something that can port people there. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it, because they were certainly successful at getting people from Pudgy Party onto the blockchain. It was just that blockchain was, I forget the name of it. It wasn't Monad. It was something I'd never heard of before. It was this NFT marketplace, but they brought a lot of money and transactions on there. And so now they've created a consumer product that actually got people on chain without realizing it. And now they have their layer 2, and I guess they're going to have a couple upgrades. I forget their roadmap, but now they just need to pair those things. And they have plenty of time and plenty of money to do that. But the current focus of their direction, I haven't been a huge fan of. However, I'm still overall positive of it, because they genuinely have 2 games on there that I really thoroughly enjoy playing. So, I think there's, as we know, running a small business, not every decision you make is the best or great decision, and you do make mistakes along the way. So, just something that I experienced, seeing the shift in the short term for Abstract and being like, okay. I will say though, this type of a thing becomes less of a, okay, guys, we're really doing this right now. I understand it, but it doesn't make me feel great. If there was a token and there was a revenue buyback and burn policy with gas fees, so then it becomes something really interesting where it's hey, you can be in this transaction farm area that will increase transactions. You have the opportunity to win prize pools, which is all good, great, and grand. But then also, if you have the token, there's a revenue buyback policy for the token, and then it becomes a little bit more of a system that helps to generate far more marketing value and notoriety. But the thing is Abstract doesn't have a token yet, because if price of token go up, everyone starts paying attention. People port money over. People spend more time, right? So, we'll see. There's still plenty of time for them to take something like this and have it as one pillar of their ecosystem that could then be tied into something that would actually really, really, really be a good thing. But as of right now, I do look at it going okay, all right. I know everyone does it, but
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what Pudgy's, or excuse me, I should say Igloo's most popular product has been?
I would imagine it's Pudgy Party.
Well, according to Newswire, this is a press release from them. It's actually their real plushies, and it's pretty significant. Of course, it's the IP is the most valuable thing, but they've sold over 2 million units and counting, accounting for 8 figures of retail sales, and that's just for the first year. And they were in Walmart, Target, Walgreens. They also hit the Amazon bestseller chart. And so even internally, financially speaking, that more than anything else has helped them grow outside of whatever investment they've taken. The number 2 is GIFs, social content, tens of billions of views on Giphy, and especially on TikTok and Instagram. This is their biggest distribution channel by far. Not necessarily their biggest monetization engine, but it's how they become and how they maintain cultural relevance.
It's why their plushies are selling.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the games, I'm not a big gamer, but I loved
I have a plushie.
You got a plushie? You're right.
I got Ricky right over here. Big Rick.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
You
They
know.
actually make money, so they're in a position to just keep building and taking their time.
Right, exactly.
And take your time long enough for me to get as many airdrop XP points as possible, because I need to get into the platinum tier, because they're like third or second highest tier. Because if you break down the math of this, there are not that many people earning the airdrop on Abstract. There are not that many people. So if you can get up a few rungs, you can actually stand to make potentially a good chunk of money. Bear markets are the best time to be airdrop farming because everyone disengages, which means the total amount of people who are qualifying for airdrops gets super small. That's why I was able to get that Jito airdrop for $7,000 or $8,000 last bear market. And I'm trying to do the same thing this time with Abstract, because they do have a tendency to try to have a big airdrops.
Dude, I'm part of this Abstract Alpha Club that started off, Icy started it. It was a streamers chat at first, and then it became just like, you know, people sharing different, the streaming was frustrating for some people, so they're trying other stuff. I put a message in there March 6th when you started doing the let's stream some games and do this, asking them if there was an easier way to integrate the streaming function so we could do it here. And I haven't, it's been crickets. So,
yeah. Well, it seems like OBS is the only way to really do it and have it be friendly. So I think through our Twitch, we would be able to do it, but not until we switch to OBS.
I tried it. It's tough. It doesn't read the Twitch, but maybe like you say, OBS will help.
Yeah, apparently it has to be OBS.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because all
I was in
their
Discord. Oh, interesting.
It's really interesting. All they want is a URL, like to mirror the stream.
Yeah, but I found that you have to be OBS on Twitch or Twitter. But if you don't have that pairing, then it doesn't work.
I wonder if there's something wrong under the hood. I'd be curious to hear more from the streamers. Have you tried it with OBS or no?
I haven't, but I was chatting with people in Abstract and they're like, yeah, we tried it with XYZ and all that kind of stuff, just like didn't work. It has to be OBS and Twitch or OBS and Twitter, and then you can stream there. Now I'm just like looking at this being like, you made the Twitter Twitch integration to try and make it easier to stream, but like I was able to stream on Abstract before you did this and now I can't. So like, I think you made it harder.
Yeah. We have a question in the comments that is really good to answer from TK Slate. How do you do airdrop farming?
Yeah, so airdrop farming, let's just cover the basics. So an airdrop is you being given cryptocurrency for air quotes free, for being active using that thing. And how you use that thing is, well, depending on what it was for. If it's a lending protocol, you go and you lend and you borrow and you earn interest off of that, which is great. And then, you know, if they haven't released a token yet, they'll do something called a TGE, which is a token generation event, or it is an airdrop. It's giving out the tokens, and it's basically a thank you or a reward for like testing and using the products early. Maybe you find some bugs and stuff, report it, all that kind of stuff. If it's a centralized exchange, go and swap and make trades, right? This is how people made, some people made life-changing amounts of money on Hyperliquid by using Hyperliquid before they released their hype token. Some people made like $1 million. Yeah, like it was crazy. Met one of them at the Denver ETH Denver conference. He's like, yeah, dude, made $1 million, quit my job, and I've been trading the market, losing it ever since. Like,
nailed it.
He was like,
the fastest way to make $100,000 in crypto is to start with $1 million.
Start with $1 million. And so, and in the case of Abstract, using Abstract is playing games, streaming, and interacting with streamers, right? Those are the ways that you do it. So, yeah, I've been on Abstract every day. And for me, I found a bunch of games that were like very much so gambling chance games and, you know, interact. I would play like one of those a day. And now I've stopped just because like I don't really have fun with it. And I've been doing things on Abstract every day now, not just for airdrop farming, but because like I really found two games that I really have a lot of fun with. One is Tollan Universe, TOLLAN Universe. And the actually, you know what? I'll share my screen. I have it up. One is Tollan Universe right here, and it's a like top-down arcade RPG kind of style game where you have like waves of enemies come. And the thing is like you have to load your wallet with some Ethereum because it's kind of like an arcade slot, you know, machine game, if you will, where you put in like $1 worth of Ethereum, like $1, and then you get to get a key and you get to go and, you know, have a run, and you can earn Ethereum if you find like the treasure chest, there's like some Ethereum in there, or there's abstract points, or there's gold. And the more gold you get at the end of the week, you actually earn Ethereum from a prize pool. So actually, the better you play the game, you can actually earn and make money from the game. I personally find that you typically spend more money, but still, you know, maybe you play the game 10 times, and at the end of the week, you get back maybe like half of your money or something like that, or like 40% of your money. So like it does mitigate your costs. And then also Maze of Gains, really fun dungeon crawler game, really unique. I've talked about it before, but these two games are a lot of fun. Then Moody Madness, the racing game, is also fun. And so I come on and I play these games and I earn some XP points, and there are ways to get, like, increase it. Like if you buy the NFTs of some of these projects, it'll give you some multiples. I have a little Pudgy NFT as well, and I have it attached to my abstract wallet. And so, I earn 45% extra XP and yada, 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 yada. So like, that's how you can abstract, airdrop farm on abstract. Yeah. And, I mean, go play some games, have some fun. No one knows when they'll do an airdrop, but the Igloo ecosystem, that Pudgy Penguins ecosystem, is very well known for being very generous for their community members. And so my thought process is, I'm having fun. I'm really tired of like just DeFi stuff, and I want to do something different on chain. So playing Web3 games that I actually really enjoy is just really nice and fun, and I really, really like it. And then, there's an opportunity for there to be like a maybe big airdrop if I can get high enough up the rungs and maybe make a little bit of money. So
another website that might help you a little bit is airdrops.io. Airdrops.io has a just smattering of opportunities that are either speculative or confirmed about different projects and protocols that are releasing an airdrop, and you can use their website to sort for different criteria. Like this one is one you'll need to be on Telegram for, Telegram required. This one is one that you'll need to use your mobile phone for. Most of them are worthless. Some of them are valuable. They have a little indicator here that's like telling you how many people have confirmed this or think it's going to be worth something. But the only way to know for sure is to trade your time, your dollars, or whatever, your clicks for the thing, and then find out for yourself. You can sort them by different blockchains. It's a comprehensive resource. The only thing I'll say about it that I don't think is helpful is they report on so many things that the ratio of like what's actually worth paying attention to here versus what ends up being truly worth your time that returns money is not as good. The best thing to do is to spend time, if you're into that kind of thing, building a network of degenerate friends who are into airdrop farming. I personally feel like it's not something I've ever spent a lot of time in, but I do know a lot of people who say the best way to make quick money, life-changing money in crypto without having a lot of money is to airdrop farm.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is typically when I airdrop farm and it's DeFi, like it's a DeFi ecosystem, it's lending or whatever, or staking, I'll just take like $10 or $100 and whatever. And I was like, okay, lend here, do that, do this, do that. And sometimes I make $10 back. Sometimes I get $1. Sometimes it's $100. In the case of Jito, though, I took $100 of Solana, I staked, and I was given $7,000 or $8,000. I forget the exact figure. But like, every now and again it hits, and it hits big, Yeah. So, just qualify, because you never know how small that pool of people is. And in bear markets, it's small. So if they give money out to people, it can be substantial, or at least it makes sense. In a bull market, I don't think it makes any sense at all to really airdrop farm. In a bear market, absolutely.
Just to balance the perspective, I mean, I probably do most of my active crypto stuff is DeFi and is yield farming. And I am probably earlier than most people to most stuff. OpenSea, I used Phantom Wallet, I used MetaMask, I used when they first came out. I've been early-ish to Uniswap, Aave. I have used, what are some of these others here? I've been
but these are all big. These are all big airdrops. And so
I've used Athena. I've used, you know what I mean? I'm saying though that like, as a person who is here more than most people listening to this show will be,
sure,
and probably putting more dollars on chain to work than most people listening to this show will be, I've done it on, I mean, I don't know, Alex, the Cardano airdrop, you know what I mean? There are all these opportunities, and I know, sorry.
Don't.
I still think if somebody was like, hey, Evan, here are 100 possible airdrops. Go park $100 of your money in 100 of these protocols. Don't forget to check up on it or forget that you deposited it there, and hopefully you'll have some free money. Versus, like, I have a friend who showed me a USDC farm that could earn me 12%, and maybe I'll get an airdrop. I would rather park it on the 12% USDC farm, maybe get an airdrop because the protocol is good, than go like play 100 airdrop farming slot machine. I mean, I could just go down the list. A lot of it requires activity, you know. What's the Instagram one? Zora. I got the airdrop from that. I got an airdrop for playing Crypto the Game. That was fun. I got a couple. That it's such a game of chance and luck, and the best thing you can do to increase your like upside potential is to just meet people in the crypto industry and find out, are you building a project? Are you going to do an airdrop? How much are you giving people? You know what I mean? Like you'll have a better chance of doing that than probably spraying and praying, I would say. Or maybe I'm just unlucky. Alex is definitely unlucky.
I don't even try. Honestly, I don't. I'm firmly in the like, oh, this is the farm. Yeah, I'll just go here. I mean, if Carrot ever does an airdrop, I'm covered. And there's a couple more. Like I saw Ink is on that list. So some little stuff, you know, that I've messed with or interacted with. Like there's definitely some things on the list, but like, I don't know. And sometimes it works out. Like I got the Pengu airdrop because they airdropped early Phantom wallets, you know, stuff like that.
But like I didn't. I had an early Phantom wallet.
Well, I didn't get a lot. Like it was, I don't know, you know, if it was like an activity threshold or something like that. Cause I feel like, and I don't remember what year mine, the one that got the drop opened. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look.
Well, anyway, I think it's a good point to transition off of airdrop farming to maybe talk about the Google Quantum FUD once again.
I think that's a great idea. And let me shout out Doug in the comments who said, I'm not so sure how I feel about it, the FUD. Currently, also competing for views, the Department of War is hosting...
Don't call it that.
...a press briefing. That's what they call it on the website. That is the URL, so I'm going to call it that, war.gov. Because if people want to find it, I don't want them to go to a phishing site. Does the Department of Defense still go there? Like if I type in Department of Defense, will it pull up Department of War? I'm sure it does.
Probably.
I know. The Department of War, the Dow. I don't know why you'd go with an acronym like Dow just to get war. Anyway.
You got to remember, they're idiots LARPing Call of Duty with real people.
You've got press remarks from Pete Hegseth, Steve Feinberg, Dan Kane, Chris Mahoney. So let us know. Keep us posted if you're watching that. What is on the table? But for now, we're talking about quantum computing. This is a momentous day for quantum and cryptography. Two big papers just landed. I will share the links to them in the Rise Up community. There's one published by Google and another by a company called Atomic that I had not heard of, that was new to me. And they both have big implications for how far advanced quantum computing is and how it's likely to progress, these people think, in the next couple of years. And these really are the people at the vanguard studying this stuff. So their conclusion is that quantum computing, and you may see some headlines about this, so let's be real, that it got meaningfully closer to being able to break crypto. It's not necessarily there yet. And I saw some commentary from Justin Drake on Twitter that he used to think 2032 would be like a reasonable estimate. Now he thinks 2030 is a more reasonable and realistic estimate for when algorithms could break Bitcoin signatures and Ethereum wallets. So these two papers, they improved an algorithm called Shor's algorithm that would be used to break Bitcoin or Ethereum. And it's not hype. It's progress on the thing that people are concerned about. They estimated that the requirements, just file this away, to break those would be 1,000 logical qubits. This is down from like 5 and 6 figure numbers. and 100 to 500,000 physical qubits. So these are honestly quite beyond my depth to explain further than saying theoretical power and actual computing power. Still unlikely we're going to get any kind of quantum computer before 2030 that has the actual physical capacity to do this. And researchers at the Ethereum Foundation and also Bitcoin security researchers say that they are concertedly working about fixing both protocols before there is any imminent risk. And Bitcoin mining specifically, which some people worry about, proof of work, is not at risk of being broken for probably several decades. Alex, what am I looking at? You looking at an expert?
Yeah, she's really good. So this is Anastasia Marchenkova. Her website is amarchenkova.com, and then it has all of her links to socials, including her TikTok. And she has a ton of really interesting information and educational resources about quantum specifically. She is a quantum physicist with a PhD and talks in depth about different applications. She has talked about Bitcoin before. It's not the primary bulk by any stretch of what her content is about, but she's really, really good. If you are interested in learning more about quantum stuff, I would 100% look her up.
Excellent. Thank you. And I'm going to post this thread from Justin Drake because he is a good expert in some things, but not expert in quantum, though learning about it and contributing to it because he's a crypto security expert. He's got some good takeaways too. Like he talks about how he thinks commercially viable Bitcoin proof of work breaking is not happening in decades, possibly centuries. He said this observation and these papers should help focus our discussion, our meaning crypto people, on ECDSA, encryption standards, and Schnorr. He says, side note, as an unofficial Bitcoin security researcher, I still believe Bitcoin proof of work is cooked due to the dwindling security budget. And he says the folks at Google Quantum AI are the real deal. So this is pretty darn cool. I would say it's not a FUD thing. I wouldn't think of it as FUD at all. I would think of this as like really helpful update on the cutting edge of computing science. Ethereum is working on it. They've got a whole post-quantum website, pq.ethereum.org, where they lay out their plan. I listened to an episode of the Unchained podcast where they talked about this, but they have it written up right here. It's kind of like the mandate they released a little while ago. They've got a whole roadmap that you can see the progress that they're making, the steps it'll take. This is a technical document, but hopefully it'll give non-technical readers confidence that they are working to make the cryptography that secures your crypto assets secure against quantum as well. Thoughts, questions, guys? What do you think?
I've had a couple thoughts about the whole quantum thing. Cause of course, quantum computing is going to get better, and it could be a threat to Bitcoin and blockchains and all that kind of stuff. But it's also a threat to everything else. And so, everything needs to step it up from a technological security standpoint. Otherwise, anyone with a quantum computer will be able to just crack into any bank, into any financial system, into any blockchain, all that kind of stuff. So, it makes me a little worried about Bitcoin, and I'm a little less worried about Ethereum, because Ethereum can upgrade itself much faster than Bitcoin can, and it takes a really long time for the Bitcoin community to come to a consensus about something and making a change and upgrade. So I am a little worried about that, honestly. And then also the conversation where people are like, quantum computing is going after Bitcoin. It's like, well, there are other much bigger fish to go after first than Bitcoin. But still, if you wanted to put on your tinfoil hat and say, hey, the powers that be that control the world want to keep that control, and that would make Bitcoin, one of the biggest targets, potentially to attack with quantum. So, just like with anything, it's probably a good idea to not have the overwhelming majority of your portfolio in one single thing to manage your risk, because quantum is a risk to Bitcoin and crypto, just as it is to banking and Wall Street and any small business and any business really. So I look at this as a signal to everybody. That's a reminder, hey, it's good to be diversified in your investment portfolio. That's just what I take of this. And then I also look at it as an opportunity, just like, hey, remember everybody, got to keep working on quantum resistance here because this technology is not slowing down.
Alex, what you got?
Just an interesting little tidbit. So this was a tweet from Anastasia about this alert from Google, or the warning from Google with all of this. And she's just talking about the right here. Previously it took about 8 hours to crack RSA, which is a public key encryption system. And now it's down to 9 minutes. But notes that there's still a lot of building to do on the hardware side before, just kind of like what we're saying. Like it's progressing. There's still a lot to do.
Yeah, that is probably Doug notes here. Like, I respect the paper was not intended to move markets. My FUD comment was the reaction of whatever retail is left. Probably people were reacting to this. This is a pretty fiercely worded, any way you shape it, idea that you could crack a Bitcoin public key in 10 minutes with anything. I saw in Justin Drake's comment, he was talking about these, where did he see it? 1,000, 10,000. He was talking about like a superconducting quantum computer, the type Google is building, could crack keys in minutes. And he said Toffoli gates, this is a quantum concept, it's a measurement, are surprisingly shallow. They consume 10 microseconds on a superconducting platform. So it would take about 1,000 seconds of runtime of Shor's algorithm to break a public key, or to derive your Bitcoin private key from a public key if one was known and available. But again, this is the type Google is building, a computer that could, not one that right now is out there in the wild. But of course, one of the things that a lot of quantum researchers talk about, I'd be curious to see what Anastasia says about this, is like the stealth and security aspect of it. If you were a bad guy and you were building a quantum computer, we probably would know about it, but you would have a vested interest to keep this thing quiet until it was ready. That's for sure. Okay, if you've got other questions about quantum computing, let us know. Would love to see it. Doug says, CZ tweeted. He said, we're good. So we're good. So thank you
God.
for that, CZ.
Thank God.
The market's back. I do want to touch on...
Ding, the market's back.
I want to touch on the Aave news. We've got a new Aave app to try.
Yeah.
You won't get an airdrop from this, but V4 is coming, and the app is coming soon. On the way there, Alex, I'll hand it off to you, but CZ just says, saw some people panicking or asking about quantum computing's impact on crypto. At a high level, all we got to do is update our algorithms, so no need to panic. Appreciate that. In practice, there are a few considerations. Some dead projects may not upgrade at all. Might be a good to cleanse out those projects anyway. I'm sure he meant good idea. Fundamentally, it's always easier to encrypt than decrypt. More computing power is always good. Crypto will stay post-quantum. There it is. Get out of here, Bears. Get out of here.
We need DJ Willie Quiggs to chase the bear out of his backyard again. By DJ Willie Quiggs, I mean the co-founder of Tether and also Wax, who on a live stream chased a bear out of his backyard in Colorado with us on it. We weren't on the bear. We were on the stream. On the bear. Yeah.
On the bear.
It was rise up after all. They brought the bear market.
Jay Heat has a really good point here as we transition. Are we sure the companies doing it are not bad guys, meaning this quantum work? Are we sure?
Nope.
We're really not.
That is a deep and philosophical question that would be interesting to pose about pretty much every industry. And I feel like I need a beverage for that one.
Are we the baddies?
I mean, yes.
Oh, we're the baddies for sure.
Are we the baddies?
We're definitely
All right.
baddies.
I
You want to
forget.
hit,
I
hit
did.
Aave?
Yeah, go for it.
So Aave V4 launched yesterday, and the big notable advancement here is with regards to their liquidity. We've seen this trend before. This was kind of the overall pitch of, the ag layer, for example, this idea of combating fragmented liquidity, and that's kind of what V4. So they're transitioning from their fragmented siloed liquidity pools, depending on the version and depending on the action and whatever's being done, over to this hub and spoke model, which pools liquidity into this hub, and then the spoke, if you can visualize it, allows it to then travel out to different places that it's being requested or needed and used. So, and there's some more stuff. There's, so the mainnet rollout onto Ethereum mainnet was yesterday, right? Today's the 3rd. Yeah, yesterday. So, think of V3 as like separate lending pools, and then V4 is like a big liquidity engine with all these different kind of modular lanes on it that let it be used more efficiently. And there's some design improvements and a couple of other things like that. The something interesting that I'm curious about, there is a note about governance flexibility, because these spokes can be added and upgraded without like causing protocol disruptions. So Aave has described V4 as security first, and then hopefully will allow the DAO to expand, which I think is interesting, just given some recent DAO against lab drama that we've seen from the Aave side, which seems to be mostly quiet now. Whether or not there is a peaceful resolution or we just sort of got over it, I'm not honestly that sure. So the other thing that came out, or the last big thing that came out with this, is Aave Pro, which is a new interface. And I have to say I haven't been on it since, but I was we can open it up here and take a look at everything.
Let's get under the hood, Alex, and see what we're dealing with here.
All right.
And while Alex does that, let me remind you, I am going to do my best to post the links that we talk about in the general chat of the Rise Up community today. But did you know that if you are a premium member of the Rise Up community, that now you can see show recaps? Every day we have a show. Our sweet friend, Mr. Will Watson, is posting them right here. You can go and get a summary of the shows you missed, with links to watch the full episodes, with timestamps, little clickable bits, bobs. It's really very good. If you don't have time to tune into the show, but you want to stay up to date, you want to know what we've done, what we're talking about, it's a great place to do it. Yes, Metallicus. Still waiting for one good reason is the segment that they named the recap.
Still waiting for one good reason. That's such a good title for the recap.
That is
I have to say, post episode yesterday, I saw that the Metallicus people seem to have pulled a hex move and screenshotted the live and posted it on Twitter asking for reinforcements to come yell at us. And then there were lots of comments about people being brain dead. So I will say, nothing makes me more confident that the network or the protocol or the tool in question is genuinely good when a bunch of people who have XPR Maxi in their Twitter bios send me threats and call me an idiot because I said I don't really get it, but let's do a show about it.
Love that. Anyway, I'm sure they have a great future.
Yeah, no, they're going to do great.
They're going to do great. They're going to do wonderful.
Yep. I think the direct quote was from that Echo guy who's special, was I don't have time to explain to people who don't get it, or something like it. Was just this like, oh, I'm just doing so much important work. I couldn't possibly answer a question about this random ass
about crypto
bull posting for months. So, and his pinned tweet is like, this year's going to be big, which I would have to imagine he rewrites every January.
Yep. Yep.
So,
yeah. In the words of Doug, what a tool.
I can play that game too and make snide comments that mean nothing and are backed by nothing. But
I'd love to answer your question, but I'm just so fucking I'm so
busy doing. I'm doing the king's business.
I'm doing some
king's business.
Yeah, I'm trying to manifest anything to be built on this blockchain. So I'm out here just doing interpretive dance trying to summon a developer to create
taking these
something.
crystals and just line these chakras so Metallicus gets used.
I just like this is me being petty because I am Tom Petty. The second that happens and that's the response, I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, you know what? Okay, this is it. This is what I had to be made aware of. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. All of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I was right. It is nonsense.
Yep. It has. If it looks like a duck, acts like a duck.
Yeah.
Sounds like a duck.
There was like
Probably
one
a
polite
cryptocurrency
person
that'll never get used.
One polite person talked about it, so we'll talk to them and see what it is. But the rest of you idiots,
still down to chat with them about it, because like, hey, you made a thing that works, and be like, so what do you want this to do? We want it to be a place where people can earn interest. Okay.
Huzzah! Great goal.
What's the differentiator? What's going to get people to go and do that here?
God, you don't get it. I don't have time to explain it to you. I'm too busy. Okay. Got it.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yep, Raj.
Okay, take me behind the scenes and under the hood of this this Aave V4. Tell me what I'm looking at.
Notably now, if you go to Aave, and this is tradition. Uniswap has done this. Aave has done this. Notably, this is V4. There have been 3 more. Uniswap, same kind of thing. You can still use previous versions. So if you go to Aave and you go to launch the app, you're prompted now to pick between Aave Pro V4 or just to open V3. So like, you know, if you have deposits and all that sort of stuff working on V3, you're good. You're fine. It's still there. You can access it. They're not like deleting anything. But here is kind of the reworked dashboard here, which actually, let me see if I can pull up the other one and we can side by side it. So you might recognize, here we go. So not a massive difference, but seems to be, you know, I guess just a little bit sleeker, if anything. These are first impressions. Over here on the side, I have my dashboard. Okay, so I'm gonna have to connect anything before I can see. Same with activity, deposit, borrow. Here we have the GHO, which is the Aave created stablecoin. Dashboard, Tether, USDC, and then here's the beginnings of deposits. I'm not sure. Ooh, we could actually, here, I'll do this too. We can pull up the llama and see what V4's track deposits are so far. Let's see if they have a dashboard for it. Yep, there it is.
I'm worried if I'm unusually quiet, it's because I'm having a sneezing attack. I've felt one coming on all morning, and I just sneezed for the first time. I'm worried I broke the seal.
The gates are open.
But I'm with you.
So this is obviously fresh. Dashboard was just spun up yesterday, so making some progress here. This will be an interesting one to track. Notably, it is not even 24 hours old. But this is the beginnings of the DeFi Llama dashboard for Aave V4. Wait, hold on. I lost my tab. There's too many. There it is. I found it. So if you were to go and compare this to, here we go. Here's 3. So V3, obviously we have back here all the way since the 20th of March, 2022. So almost exactly 4 years to the day, just slightly over. And of course, you know, $23 billion TVL in V3 still. So still the powerhouse. I will be very curious to see. This will be an interesting one to track and kind of, you know, watch deposits move from one to the other. Notably, Uniswap still has activity on older versions. You know, not everything has moved to, you know, their newest one, even after, because Uniswap V4 has been out for a little while. I don't remember the exact launch date, but it's not as fresh as this one, and 3 is still being used. 2 is still being used.
Alex, can you really quickly view all yields at the yields widget?
Mm-hmm.
What I want to see is, oh, no. Click back. Specifically all yields on Aave in the, like, below the graph in the, like, left. It's, you know, Aave V3, TVL, protocol. Yep. That's the one. Yields. What I want to see for people in podcast land, Is there like one spot? How many pages of pools is this, or how many?
141 pools.
Over 7 protocols and 119
119
chains. Okay, now can you pull up Metallicus? Just for fun. 141 pools over 7 protocols. And this is just one of Aave's Vs. This is like version 3 or version 4, was it?
3.
Yeah, okay, V3. So Aave's most robust. So, it's not really a fair comparison. This is like taking, LeBron James and the entire LA Lakers to play against one kid from the elementary school down the street. You know what I mean? Like, this is not fair.
Mm-hmm.
How many pools are we tracking here? This is the whole XPR network. No. Go ahead and just click into one of them. Click into Metal X down there. Metal X at the bottom. And to be fair, DeFi Llama doesn't track everything. But
they track what they can access open. So if it's not open, they will not show it. Got
it. Okay. A better comparison for like this would not be Aave. Aave is not, Metal X is not competing with Aave. But just to show, like, for people to talk about it as if it was in fact the gateway to all things DeFi, I would hold that up to them and say, like, oh, when I went to Metal X yesterday, they had 5 different yield farm products, but you could only farm XPR or metal tokens or something.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 or 3 different liquidity pools. They have a couple of meme coins. They have a couple of, when I say a couple, I mean like less than 100, kind of thing. So it's really, new is the wrong word. Nascent is a better word. You're looking at Uniswap here. What do we got on Uniswap? Is this V3?
This is all of it. So, but 28, almost 2,900 pools.
Yeah.
Phew. But you can see here, there are still, large pools. This is an interesting one. So clearly not active, like this is old. This is V2. So not been the one for years. Still a lot of TVL there. So like you might be able to, my first guess would be, I wonder if this is dead. Locked and gone and buried and not able to be reaccessed, which is a thing to keep in mind when you look at, like Ethereum TVL, like not all of that TVL can be accessed.
No.
Same with Solana. You have TVL that is on the sheet as contributing to this, high gigantic number that these chains can boast, but how much of that is stuck in a smart contract that nobody can access to, or nobody can access anymore. The keys are burned or whatever it is.
And what does it say about your protocol that like literally millions of dollars are just dead there? And 1, people still keep using it, and 2, it really isn't any kind of impediment to the protocol or the blockchain that it serves. No one on Ethereum. That's a rounding error on Ethereum. Nobody cares.
Yeah, 120 million.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, fine. See you later.
Whoops. Yeah. So, another thing you can do is you can just come here to the totals. Here's your protocols ranked by size. You can sort by whatever. Look at revenue.
Oh, I love that.
There's your list. Look at Hyperliquid sitting there at number 3. Pass pump.
Yeah,
wow.
That's
what we like to see.
Tether said, hold my beer.
Tether doesn't count. Tether's special. Dude, first place in 24 hours, fees generated, revenue in 24 hours, 16.4 million.
Yeah, Hyperliquid is the crypto to be buying in this bear market. If we can get some lows like Hyperliquid below $30 again, oh my god.
Dude, I keep getting the ping.
35.
Yeah, I keep getting the ping that it came down to 35, and then we're seeing. I'm ready. If it's under 30, man, I'm going.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
okay.
So there you go. We'll be keeping an eye on TVL and liquidity shifting over to Aave. I'll mess around with V4 a little bit today and see if I can move some of mine over and give that a shot. I haven't really messed with GHO, but that's also on my list of homework to look at their stablecoin.
Here's a really good question from Hollywood P. If something is at its young stage, he's talking about Metallicus specifically here, or just, the way I refer to nascent protocols. can it progress from there going forward, or is it just
Sure.
BS?
No, it could progress, but like the issue is that it is really targeting like XRP users and community members and holders. And the thing is the XRP holder community isn't one that's really active on chain. Like the community is really good at buying the token and holding it, but they don't really have a big part of that community that goes and does DeFi on chain. They buy, they hold. And, you know, that's valuable to a certain extent. You know, that's why XRP has been able to remain relevant.
Certainly.
Along with, you know, Ripple being a centralized entity that can just like, I don't know, get their community by putting something in a video to have them spin up conspiracy theories and keep them excited and engaged. But they're just not, it's going to be, I won't say not, it's just going to be really, really, really difficult for them to take this community of holders into communities of users. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's a really hard thing to do. And they're not unique in that. I mean, that's the great quandary of any cryptocurrency, is transitioning people from a holder to like, hey, go do something. And the overwhelming majority of people still are not doing anything with any of it.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't even know how if you told them they had to.
Yeah. Don't know how to set up the wallet. Don't know how to fund it. Don't know how to connect. Don't know how to, I have to have what to pay for gas. What? What's gas? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think if there was a bigger focus on that, then you might be able to even avoid some of the, you know, erroneous investing that ends up costing people lots of money just because, I mean, take staking, for example, right? Like there's this sort of ethereal presence around the word stake. And whenever it's spoken, lots of people are interested in learning about it because the only thing you hear is a great way to put your money to work and earn money.
Yeah.
You know, without keeping in mind the fact that, you know, your average staking yield on anything worth anything is a few percent. Solana's the highest. I mean, native ETH staking is 2.4, 2.6.
Something like that.
Solana's like 5.5. You know, so caveats there, you're earning it in that native token. It's nothing else. And you need to have quite a bit. And you need to sit there for quite a while. To start doing that, you know, so it's like, sure, you can earn interest, and that's phenomenal. And if that's what you want to do, then yeah, I think everyone should be. But you know, we don't talk about the experience of doing it, or how much you need, or how long you'd have to sit there, or how much you're actually going to make if you stake $10,000 worth, and let's just pretend it's going to keep being worth 10,000. You know, what if it craters and you're losing it? You know what I mean? That's the using is never in the conversation. Nowhere near as much as it should be.
Doug says we don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. That's true.
Yeah, and the thing is, there are a lot of people who are learning about staking, or learning about yield farming, or learning about NFTs, or even meme coins for the very first time because they were paying attention to XRP, and then somebody told them about Metallicus. And the first time you hear about those things, it sounds. I mean, it sounds really good, but through experience over time, you learn that, just because I'm getting paid, like I'm staking or yield farming or waiting, that doesn't mean what I'm getting is valuable. I want to double down on that and say what Alex said yesterday, and again, kind of today, is there's no real reason for people who already do that other places in crypto to bridge their capital to a new place where there's less liquidity. Liquidity is everything in DeFi. You know, Metallicus, the thing I hear people say is like, oh, there's no gas there. Okay, great. You might not be paying a gas fee, but your trades are expensive in something called slippage. If we're all putting our money, if we're all putting our water in a pot, okay, and the pot is as big as like a pot you would cook with, and we all have coffee cups, you know, maybe we can put water in and take water out, me and Alex and Will, and it's no problem. But let's say somebody comes with a dump truck of water and they want to put it in our pot. What's going to happen? The pot can't hold that much water, or it's going to splash everywhere. Or if somebody with a dump truck that's empty comes up to our spaghetti pot, they're going to take the entire pot of water. So every drop changes the composition of that pool a lot more than Aave is like Lake Michigan. You can put a dump truck of water in that thing, no problem. No one will notice. It's a Tuesday. People are dumping water in, taking water out all the time. People are feeding municipalities of people from that water source because there's so much liquidity. So serious users and people who know about crypto don't really come unless there is enough liquidity that they can move in size, that they can move without slippage, that they can trade there, that they can build there. And that's the other thing too, is a lot of these places, they're like, it's like when a new subdivision comes up in your town. And at first it's just like houses in the middle of a field. And then they get like some dirt roads that go there so the construction trucks can drive there. And then eventually they connect it to like the main road and you can go there if you want. That's like what most of these crypto ecosystems are building. And it takes the liquidity. It takes the builders moving into the neighborhood, building things that people want to do and see and participate in there. A lot of venture capital funds the expansion of these little mini suburbs, these little mini cities. But when the incentives dry up, do people want to drive all the way out there? Do they want to park their cars? Do they feel safe there? Is there stuff for them to do? Is there ice cream for them to eat? That kind of thing. We see it happen a lot in crypto. But a lot of people get sucked in because they're seeing it for the very first time. So, Will, I know you got to go soon. Is there anything you wanted to dig into before you ride your dog and pony today?
Chart art competition tomorrow night.
We're going to look at some charts live.
Comfort him.
There it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll look at charts live together. We'll pick a winner. So if you have submissions to get them in to between now and like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Pretty much you can get it in any time before the show. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get it into the Circle community. Get a chance to win $100 based on whatever we think is the best chart art that tickles our fancy. Get your submissions in. There is a chart art competition tab available for free to everybody in the Circle community. So get your submissions in. No AI art. No AI art. Someone did submit one I saw and they go, it's AI art. I know, but it's too good for me to not post. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. I respect that.
Appropriately labeled. Can't be mad.
Can't be mad.
We do like a disclaimer.
Have an opportunity to win $100 USDC. It's a good time.
Yeah, there are some fun ones. I saw.
Talking about airdrops.
Talk about airdrops.
Talk about airdrops. About a chart art competition airdrop. And I'd love to see a few more submissions in there. So get them in, everybody.
Cool.
And that's it. And
that's it. Okay. You need to get out of here?
Yeah. I gotta run and get a few things ready for a call in 15.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he's your friend and mine, Mr. Will Watson.
Bye.
Bye. Alex, over or under, how many TikTok videos do you think Will is going to make in the 15 minutes before he has to get on that call? I'm going to say 3.
I was going to say, I'm going to go 2. To say the safe answer is 2.
I think you're right about that. I definitely think you're right about that. Okay, if you've got a question, a suggestion, a good joke, word of wisdom, something like that, before we ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset, let us know. I see Jay Heat said, exactly. That's what I'm building off of just because of that. I think referring to Metallicus. Did I miss that, Jay Heat? Are you building on Metallicus? What do you like about it? I'd really like to hear your perspective on it. Please tell me. I also see Hollywood P says Metallicus is going after credit unions to onboard them. So how does that equate to profits or usage? Great question. We will dive into this in more detail when we get the Metallicus folks tomorrow, because I don't know about it, Alex, do you? But I don't know. Credit unions, anybody using your stuff. If you were going to build a new city tomorrow, Alex, you'd want a couple of things, right? Like every city's got to have a doctor's office. Every city's probably got to have a bank, a McDonald's. I don't know, a restaurant, right?
This is just one of those things. It doesn't, and that's not unique to them. It's just in general. The traditional finance system has no interest in storing or moving or holding assets that they have or are protecting or are charged with from their customers, users, whoever, into some newish or even oldish, sketchy-ish volatile currency that just doesn't make any sense. So
yeah,
it
and
doesn't really.
Let's address this too. Like Crypto Boat says, it is cheap right now. Please tell us It sounds interesting. It's so cheap right now. It's 0.00013 cents or whatever. Talking about Metallicus.
Okay.
And to which I would say, crypto boat, everybody. Do you know what else is cheap right now? Bitcoin is cheap right now. Why would you turn a penny, $1, $10,000, $1 million into some speculative asset that some guy on TikTok told us about that may or may not be proven? Like, if that's what you're doing, that's your play for the more money you have, you're trying to protect it. The less money you have, I get it. You're into risk stuff. But if you're talking about what's cheap right now, don't look at how many dollars can I get. Your dollar goes equal amounts either direction. Just because you're buying one Bitcoin or one Metallicus token makes no difference. If you are turning $1 worth of value right now into Bitcoin, or $1 worth of value right now into Harry Potter, Sonic, Obama, Inu, one of those dollars that you have transmogrified is more likely to be worth more tomorrow. Do you know which one it is? The dollar you bought Bitcoin with. I can't think, Alex, of a single dollar that I would rather spend if my goal was to turn that dollar into more. I just everything else has to make me argue with it. Why would I buy you instead of Bitcoin? Literally everything. And most of the time, it's like experiential stuff. I'd rather buy ice cream than Bitcoin when I'm having a bad day because that makes me feel better right now. But pretty much any asset, it's Bitcoin, baby.
Yeah, that was my question. Like, hey, look, I'm a prolific experimenter with new protocols, but I need a reason. I'm not going to leave something that's working, that is, more secure and has a better track record and performance and functions and users and all this kind of stuff, to go somewhere that doesn't have any of those things unless I have a good reason to try it. Like, hey, we're really early, airdrop farm potential, or hey, it's brand new, you want to get in there first. It's none of those things. It's been around for 6 years and it's never done anything. So like that, I just need some reasons. And like I said, I'm very open to it. So I appreciate that the screenshot was not meant to get, anyone yelled at or called names or do whatever. I don't think that was the point, although that's what it does. Because that's the target audience for a screenshot like that, is just like, hey, here's someone who doesn't get it. Here's someone who thinks that your whole personality, whatever crypto you've made it, is dumb or bad or whatever. Like, it doesn't inspire helpful conversation. Never has, and it never will, because it's crypto and that doesn't exist. People don't like objectivity.
I really like Bearded's comments here. This is going back to that new city we were going to build that doesn't have the roads, and what does it need? And he said it needs $100 or Will's money. That's even better.
Amen.
But I thought the new city would not have money, so no banks. No, the new city runs entirely on Will's money. Will, you're funding the new city. We're taking the pirate ship and we're going there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like to hear. And what would he say to it? I don't know. Probably just...
Hey there, normies. It's the perfect time to buy.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Hey, we are going to be traveling in the months and weeks ahead. And if you are looking for a good time, let me tell you what, you can hang out with us.
Don't open it that way.
Don't open it that way.
That's
okay.
Every public bathroom phone number is prefaced by "for a good time."
It works. It works.
Nope.
It must work.
Anyway, that's the show.
If you're looking to have an appropriate amount of perfectly legal fun with your clothes on,
worse somehow. That's worse.
Listen, man, we're going to Miami, dude. We're going to be there's going to be a hot tub involved, if I have anything to say about it. Although it's going to be hot in Miami, so maybe a swimming pool. We're going to Miami for Consensus at the start of May. The conference is May 3rd through 5th. The tickets are expensive.
No, it's May 5th through 7th.
Exactly. Just checking to see if
Solana Accelerate is May 5. Consensus also kicks off on the 5th and goes for the 6th and the 7th as well.
Fact check yourself, brother. Then we've got ETH Global in New York, the 8th through the 10th. We're going to be there a couple of days around the conferences. And Be not you dismayed if you Google consensus Miami 2026 ticket prices and it causes you to like clutch your pearls.
You're a loser.
Wrong sound. Thank you very much, Will. I just want you to know you really don't have to buy a ticket to like go to the conference. There are so many events happening around the conference that are totally free that you can sign up for on websites like Luma.
Yeah, don't. Unless you feel really strongly about it, or it's a disposable amount of money for you. The tickets to this one are expensive.
Yeah,
I would probably. All of us would not go if we had to pay for them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Doug said, if we don't meet up while you are in New York, we can no longer be friends. So I will say, bed. 6th, 7th, 9th, I don't know, something like that. The 8th through the 10th is the conference, and we will probably be around. This is in June, Doug. June 8th through 10th
through the 13th.
Jesus, what? No, ETH Global? They moved it. I swear to you. You're kidding me. Alex, you're kidding me. It's 8 through 10.
It is 8 through 10. Yeah, you're right. I was wrong.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Right.
You had the other dates. I know you were right about the other dates. 8 through 10 of June. We'd love to see you in New York. And we'd love to see you in Miami. And if you've got an event you want to host in your neck of the woods, then hey, let us know about that too. Our friends at Pizza DAO still need folks to host more cities for the Global Pizza Party May 22nd. I saw Colleen in the comments on TikTok, and I would be glad to put you in touch with them, or you can go to globalpizza.party. 420 cities last year. They're trying to up it to 690 this year because the memes. And they are paying for pizza. So, have a party. It can be small. It can just be a gathering of friends, or you can, they've even got decks to help you recruit additional sponsorship. If you want to have like a wild blowout party in your city, I'm going to try and have a hootenanny. In Memphis, there's a place called Coffee Black that I like to go in my neighborhood. And they have these ciphers, rap flows every Friday at the end of the month. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully we can get like a co-sponsored event going on, and it be pizza, be entertainment, be a real party. Okay, truly, final thought time. Have you seen anything in the comments you want to address on the way out the door? We talked about Quantum today. We talked about Aave today. We talked about Metallicus today.
There was a question about the FTX payouts, and if or someone that you know is owed and you haven't. So the bad news is that for this payout, the deadline has passed. But the next one, I will pull it up. There's these happen every so often. If you have to file your claim to be on the payout list by a certain deadline through the FTX website, whatever's left of it at claims.ftx.something. Be careful. I'll find the real one and we can post it in Circle. Don't just like be connecting to random stuff, because like Evan said, there's a lot of scams that exist around trying to convince you're going to get money back from FTX if you just pay me and I'll get it back for you and stuff like that. So don't do that.
Yeah, and it looks like this is the last confirmed date from what I'm seeing, that there is no fixed next or even final date, because the estate is still in the process of like selling assets. They got to resolve the lawsuit, liquidate stuff.
But you do have to file a claim, so you need to just tell them to follow the news on that. When the next claim date is announced, there will be a deadline ahead of it, a couple weeks ahead. I think that this one's deadline was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. It's pretty quick turnaround by the time deadline happens and then payout goes. So, where did I just say? Because I just saw one that was like an April something or a May something deadline for the next one, but that could have been wrong.
Huh, that's interesting. I'm looking here too. They have an official claims portal I see that's managed by Kroll. Let me see if I can get the link to it. Don't search your email for this, by the way. That's how they're going to get you, the scammers. They're going to pretend to be Kroll. They're going to pretend to be FTX. They're going to pretend to be the claims portal or something like that. Okay, so you gotta know these websites and get their official links. Otherwise, you're in trouble. You're out of luck, Chuck. What is the Kroll website? Let's find out. And we'll post it in the community. Excuse me. Oh, look, they bought the domain claims.ftx.com. That's super helpful. It's going in the community right meow. And Bearded, I saw you asked about PizzaDAO, that it only has info for 2025. I really appreciate that. That's globalpizza.party. Let me do this. I will message the Pizza Mafia. I have a Telegram chat with Colleen and Snacks and Scrim, and I will find out the best place. I suspect it might be Discord, and there is a Discord linked on their Pizza Party website. But let me get you a good, better answer tomorrow on the show. Alex, you got trust issues today. What's on the docket?
Well, probably some clarity, misinformation cleanup. Like I said, I saw some interesting takes on some live streams the other day that were all completely false and made up. So we're still not doing like our basic civics homework to figure out how bills work. So we'll do some of that. And there's a couple other just news headlines that I think are worth coming up. And then I'm going to talk to Emily about book club round 2. I think we're starting today or announcing. I'll have to ask her.
Okay.
But that's the plan. Definitely open to questions and requests. Today I don't have like a really specific thing, so we're just going to kind of go through a laundry list of updates and whatnots and all that sort of good stuff. The FTX thing I think is interesting. Talk about chapter 11 a little bit. And then on the palette of things that I would like to complain about. We've often held up this idea of like, okay, if we think that legislation or the bills, are not great, what would be better? And so I wanted to go through a little list of things that I think we could do. I have it somewhere. I'll find it. Wrote down a bunch of things that I think like would be really good to consider doing that might actually make a difference.
Very
Stall.
cool.
It's
Stall.
right here. Planned obsolescence needs to be banned in this country, not just France did it though. So shout out France.
Dude, that'd be so killer.
So actually the way that I think about this is the same way that my physical therapist thinks about whatever is hurting. So I recently got another referral and went in because my shoulder's messed up. And, the primary care doctor told me that, oh yeah, that's because of this injury in your shoulder and might need surgery. But let's start with PT. And he's like, of course, that's what their suggestion was. And he's British. So listening to him complain about American medicine is really funny.
Elegant.
And he's just like, no, any idiot could tell you that your shoulder hurts because your shoulder is injured. That doesn't take any skill to diagnose. But, figure out what else is wrong and what caused it and why are you in a point where you are favoring this shoulder that led to the imbalance, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So money is the exact same way. So planned obsolescence, fee structures. This current administration has made it a point to, in their quest to just reverse things that previous administrations did just to say that they did. They're getting rid of a whole lot of like fee protections that were beginning to be put in place from airlines and travel sites and credit cards and all sorts of stuff like that. So obviously the billionaires who run those companies donated to the ballroom and got those things removed. So talking about fee structure and fee protection again, financial confinement, just like the things that lock people into place, deference to the corporate is exactly what we're doing now. That's like the nature of an oligarchy, wherein someone with a lot of money can just pay for things to be created in their favor. You and I cannot afford to buy influence like that, so we don't, and we're the ones that get hamstrung. And then just tax fairness. So go through those 5 points and kind of talk about how they could actually be written into policy or law, or at least brought up, and go through some of those. So those are things I would like to see worked on.
CryptoBoat says, this is my favorite part of the Rise Up show. Tell it, man. And Michi Rose is right there with you in the comments. They have completely reorganized CFPB. Also, remove disparate impact from civil rights law. And Sivish says, anytime something hurt when I was young, to which Tori says, I'd like you to get an elbow rest for when you're reaching for and typing on the phone. Sivish says, my dad would diagnose my pain, then say, well, don't do that. And
My
Tori
dad would
also wants-
diagnose it as Norschlachtung, which is a
What's that?
German word for when a horse breaks its leg and has to be put down very
Damn.
quickly. It's of course there is a specific word in German for emergency slaughter.
My dad can beat up your dad.
Tori wanted to know if there was any partying on the docket for trust issues because it's your last day on the day job.
Oh, probably not.
Probably
I'll
not,
just
man.
have more energy and more time to do stuff and prepare more segments and everything moving forward.
Okay, well, that's going to be, I always get the time wrong, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, what do you know about that? Trust issues tonight. If you've got them, come commiserate with the gang. My final thought on the way out the door is earlier when Will said he slept like a baby and like a rock, like a baby made of rocks, I asked Gemini I haven't tested this ever. Gemini has like an audio feature where you could generate an image. Nano Banana is great. That's what their model is called. I asked it to make me a track that sounds like the Transformers commercials from the 90s. You remember those, like Transformers more than meets the eye, but for a character called Rock Baby who sleeps well. It says, I put together a high energy 90s style commercial track for Rock Baby, that classic industrial rock sound and robotic vocal effects you'd hear during Saturday morning cartoons. The track is ready for you to listen to right here in the chat. This is a live debut. It is not a crypto rap original, but without further ado, let's see how Gemini did on this very first draft. Rock Baby.
Rocks the cradle, rules night, transforms bedtime into might, a force of
That's
nature,
painful.
strong and deep,
Immediately incredible.
versus best sleeper. Rock, baby, ultimate power. Rock, baby, sleeps for hours.
Okay, all right. All right. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Incredible.
Rock Baby. I give you Rock Baby.
Oh man.
I'm pumped now.
That feels like exactly what you asked for.
It does feel like exactly what I asked for. And I'm a little bit sorry that I asked. So there you go. Rock Baby coming to all I need now is like a video with Will's face on it as Rock Baby. Nap Time Commando with explosive snoring action coming to a store near you.
Amazing.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much. We got to go for being the very best part of what we do. Everybody, we'll catch you on Trust Issues, and we'll be back tomorrow for another great episode of the Rise Up Morning Show. So until then, my friends, everybody, stay safe, be well, rise up.